Well, I'll call the meeting to order. This is the Lee Select Board meeting. It's August 5th, 7 o'clock, and calling the meeting to order. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, I'm hereby informing all attendees that a video and audio recording is being made of the meeting. So you have been informed. First order of business, we have the minutes for our July 10th meeting, which we held in the Select Board office. Anybody have a motion or comments or anything else they'd like to?
Looks good.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of Lee Select Board minutes from July 10th, 2025.
I will second that motion.
There's a motion and a second, and if there's no further discussion, call for a vote for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our next order of business is public comment. This time, any member of the public is free. We still don't have anybody on Zoom. Anybody can say anything. I don't see anybody hop into the microphone, so we will continue on into general business. Our first order of business, we have an ethics disclosure on the agenda, which I will essentially just inform everybody that we have two different ethics disclosures that have been filed with us. There is a bit of a contentious issue going on with the Conservation Commission at the moment, and we received a complaint, which we take seriously, and that's really, I don't know if either of you have anything that you'd like to add right now, or if we need to. I don't think we need to go through the ethics disclosures, but they are available if anybody would like to review them. They are public documents for anyone who would like to read through them and see them.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we accept, we don't have to vote on accepting, but just that we accept the disclosure of appearance of conflict from Edmund Britton and also from Mr. Cody as far as what they filed. Anybody wants to read them, they're more than welcome to, but I think all we have to do is accept them as submitted.
Great. So I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. And any further discussion before we vote? If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So I guess before we move on, I just wanted to sort of remind everybody who might be watching on any committee what this is kind of all about. These disclosure forms are there for really to protect us as board members or committee members or whatever from getting into any trouble, I suppose, with the ethics committee. And really the idea here is to just protect yourself, and if you have any, for whatever issue might come up, if you're sitting on a board, if you have any perceived bias or conflict, it's just important to get in touch with the clerk's office. These forms are available for anybody, and just disclose your relationship with the applicant or whatever business you might have with them, and your reasonings why you are able to be non-biased, and if you are biased, the simple thing to do is to just recuse yourself from the issue and not weigh in or not deliberate or vote on that particular issue. So I just wanted to kind of give that as a blank. I don't know if you guys have anything you'd like to add to that, but that was
I would just say that by law, every municipal employee is supposed to go through certain courses every year given by the state, and one of them is the ethics issue, to understand the ethics rule. One is open meeting law and so far and so on. There's 3 or 4 others. so that people understand if anyone's on a committee and they have not done that yet, you need to do that in order to get reappointed also. You need to go through these. They're very simple,
it's
short
all online,
exercises.
right?
It's all online. It's easy to do. But yeah, it is a requirement of all municipal employees to go through that training. There's basically 3 required trainings.
And again, it doesn't, you might, a committee member or a board member might know that they have an ethics concern or a conflict, but it's possible that you don't know that you have
Yeah,
a conflict.
sure, exactly.
You know, but even if it's perceived, you follow the course that
Yeah.
Sean has recommended.
Yeah, if you call the Ethics Commission in Boston, they have great attorneys that will even advise you which form to fill out, because there's 3 different forms. So they'll advise you which one after they hear your situation. And there may be a case where you just have to disclose, and another is it can go to the appointing authority. When they read it, they might say, oh, we disagree and we don't think you can be, and then they can just remove you for that one issue. They don't have to remove you from your committee, but they may say on this one particular issue, you shouldn't, we think that it's close enough so you shouldn't act. And in this case, I thought that both disclosures were well written, and at this moment in time, I would say that's why I moved to just accept them as written.
Okay, so moving on, we have a agreement with the Canal Street project, the housing project there, which I will read, and we will go from there. So this is just, this pertains to a right-of-way that the project is going to use. And our agreement with them is a license agreement. This is between the town of Lee and the West Center Street Trust relating to the land. This is between 95 and 195 Canal Street in 105. I'll have to correct that before we sign it. 105 on the title, and it's not a parcel. It's a right of way that the town has. And the agreement states, whereas the town of Lee owns a parcel of land, extension of Canal Street between 95 and 105 Canal Street, further described as lots 95 and 96 on Exhibit A, and whereas the West Center Street Trust owns the only adjacent abutting parcels to said above referenced land located at 95 and 105 Canal Street, and whereas the West Center Street Trust has proposed an affordable housing development on said land, including its properties at 58 and 62 West Center Street, and whereas the West Center Street Trust has received a special permit from the Town of Lee Planning Board, which enables the approved development, and whereas the development as approved intends to use the town's parcel extension of Canal Street for 3 parking spaces and access to those spaces, the parties hereby agree as follows. The town shall hereby allow, upon the issuance of a building permit to, this is West Center Street Trust, to make improvements to the town's land to accommodate parking so long as the development remains, and the WCST shall in all respects maintain said property and its improvements and ensure it is required at its sole expense, and the TL shall maintain any underground utilities, etc. at its expense. WCST will waive any and all rights to adverse possessions, eminent domain, and or prescriptive easements, as the town's parcel will remain a town way. WCST may not restrict any and all public use of said parcel. So that's the agreement. It's just meant to license the right-of-way to West Center Street Trust and protect our right-of-way for the town. And we have, Jeff, if there's anything you'd like to add at this time?
There's one thing. When we finalized the agreement with Chris, we eliminated the 3 for the number of parking spaces. As a practical matter, if it's a big deal, I'd leave it. And it's intended to be space for 3 parking spaces. But it's fine the way it is.
Okay.
Well, you can, I mean, it gives you more flexibility without the word 3, for whatever reason it may be.
We'll come back if it's different.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is, I don't like the TL. I think they need to spell out Town of Lee. I mean, there's nowhere else where the Town of Lee is in parentheses as TL.
Or just the town, because
The
we're
town,
mentioned
either
as the
way,
town
yeah.
above,
We
yeah.
could
It's just.
correct it as you
Simple,
suggest,
really simple.
and just initial it, and
So if we're gonna take out 3, we can get rid of the TL, because the copies we have, there's no signatures on it. Have you guys signed off on this?
No.
I signed
I'm
it.
asking.
I have a signed one.
Okay, so it's just, if we could
So
amend,
if that's already amended, then the motion would be to sign the license agreement as amended between, yeah.
well, if the TL becomes Town of Lee. I mean,
Sure.
I didn't, it's just,
Needs to say.
it's just very clear.
I'm-
Yeah, it's just, don't do TL, that means, you know,
That means nothing.
no, then you get some attorney who can argue whatever. We don't need that. If you're gonna be clear, let's be clear. No, that was my question. Also, when it says approved by town council, I think that usually says as to form, but check with Jeremiah. Because they don't approve the agreements, they just approve it as to form. And then the board approves it or not approve it, based on, for any document. I didn't mean this one, any document. It should say approved as to form.
Courtney, I'm trying to fix it now so you can sign it. Can you just say what you were saying? It should say approved what?
It's
To form.
approved by town council as to form.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but he's not approving the document.
Right.
We're approving it. But he's approving that, yeah, it's in good form, it's legally succinct, and
Right.
it's okay. So that's basically, I mean, that's the way I've always seen it done in the past. I think this is back to you, Robert.
Is that, so?
Those are my only comments. I
Is that a
could-
motion to, or
No,
is
well-
this just a comment?
It was just a comment, so I'd appreciate it if maybe the motion should reflect getting rid of the 3 and putting in Town of Lee and
Yeah.
as to form.
I'll make a motion that we approve the license agreement between the town of Lee and the West Center Street Trust relating to the land between 95 and 105 Canal Street with the proposed amendments regarding the parking spaces and the language.
Yeah, the town of Lee verbiage, for sure. So there's a motion
I'll second the
there.
motion for discussion.
And a second, further discussion?
So, for the record, I'll just say, I'm going to abstain on this, just to not vote, for whatever my own personal reasons are. So, it's still going to pass.
Thanks.
Otherwise, you know,
Been there.
it's not a supermajority needed here, so.
Any comment, Bob? No? Well, if there is nothing further, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
One abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I just want to mention, as
Yep.
long as I'm here, in case you haven't heard, the governor announced Thursday that Eagle Mill Phase 2, 44 new apartments,
Yes.
was approved for funding
Good,
in the current round,
good.
Great.
about $23 million, so
That'll be great.
it's
No,
good
that's
for all
great.
of us.
Yeah.
Great news.
No,
Terrific.
That's excellent.
Thank you very much.
Very good. You're welcome.
All right, on to our next order of business. We have an amendment to water treatment salary schedule. And I think there's one more person wants to jump in. Sabrina, it's all right, we're doing this together tonight. We're without our town admin staring at the board. Just want to make sure everybody's in that wants to be in. Okay, so we've have this in front of us, and it's really a reaction to some wages that need to be adjusted for our chief water operator and our water operator. And this would change our salary classification, and it's really to set a range, minimum, a median, a middle, and a max. For the chief water operator would be starting at 81,000 at the low end, 87,000 in the middle, and 94,000 at the max for their yearly salary. For the water operator, this would be the person working under the chief operator. This would be starting at 65 at the low end, 70 in the middle, and 75,000 in the max. And we have a schedule here of the current rates, which we would be amending, and I mean, I would entertain a motion or...
Sure, if you don't mind, I'll make the motion in a second, but for people at home who don't know what the heck this is about, it's that we have been for years without a full-time, properly licensed water operator. We have been covered legitimately with DEP, they're happy,
always
because
been,
Mike Towler, we're
yeah,
good.
part-time
Because-
here
Yeah,
and
he's been
there.
part-time, and Mike retired long ago, and he'd like to be retired. So what this does is we had an employee who has passed their exams, and they have their amount of time behind them, and they now have what's called a T3 level operator's license. And so this adjusts it so that we can properly reimburse a person at that level with a T3 license, who basically is the overall responsible party for all our drinking water.
Yeah.
And then the water operator, not the chief water operator, but the water operator. This all just spells out a small adjustment to that. But the biggest adjustment is that we now have an employee who is properly licensed to work full-time, and Mike can enjoy his retirement when we're set. And just so people understand
Yeah.
where we are.
Very good.
And with that being said, I would make a motion that we approve the amendment to the water treatment salary schedule in the fashion that you just read out.
I will second that.
A motion and a second, and if there is nothing further, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Our next order of business is we have a one-day entertainment license. This is for All Hallows Lee. And,
Yeah, folks.
oh yeah, sure, if there's somebody.
When you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. If I've reviewed this, if there's somebody that wants to speak to it on Zoom, please unmute yourself, identify yourself, and let us know what you have planned.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and Nicole is here as well. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Well?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Nicole and I are two town members and local business owners who put on All Hallows Lee last year. Similar dates, the weekend after the farmers market ended, with vendors in the town park. We had entertainment, music in the town park as well. It was a big hit last year, and we're hoping to do it again this year. Similar events, and hopefully a little more even for the kids. We had story walk involved, trick-or-treating up and down the street. So we're just looking for the entertainment license. For the music the day of, we already have a permit in with the church as well, and are working with the Chamber of Commerce. They're sponsoring this event this year again as well.
And the time we have listed here on the application is 12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Yes. Correct.
10/18, so October 18th.
Yes.
2 musical acts. Sounds like a fun time. Does anyone have a motion they'd like to make or any further comments?
Mr. Chow, move that we approve the one-day entertainment license for All Hallows Lee and all of the events included in that.
Sure, I would second that.
If there's no further discussion, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Sure.
And maybe Sabrina actually, with all our licensing experience will know. So we've just done an entertainment license. If they have food trucks in, do the food trucks still, even though they have a state vendor's license, do they still have to come to us for a one-day license, or is that just because they have a state, they don't have to come to us?
If they're gonna serve on public property, they normally need a hawker peddler license
From us?
from you. Well, they
Okay.
get it from the state first,
Okay.
and then you approve it.
Okay.
But usually when it's something like Founders or like All Hallows Eve, and it's like a bigger event, they're
Yeah.
kind of umbrellaed under that one instead of,
Under the entertainment?
yes.
Okay.
or
No, I just-
Whatever permits people get.
I didn't want all of a sudden for them to come up against something where they need another license or temporary thing for short term. You know, if this covers it all, then I think we're good and we don't have to, that's great. Okay. No, I just don't want them to be,
Also just
no surprises.
back to food trucks.
Yeah.
I think most of them have already operated at the farmer's market, so they have the license from
Great.
the town for the extended, I don't know if it's a year or not, but we do talk to them about that to make sure it's all kind of wrapped up for them as well.
Great. And have you gotten approval from the church, or are you still waiting for that?
We're waiting, the Chamber of Commerce was out of town, so we're
Gotcha.
waiting to meet all together with them. They're back in, Alex is back in town now, so we're hoping to meet with the church next week.
And this is, I don't know if we forgot to mention or not, but this is on the Park Square here, in front of the church. That's where you're planning on having it. Okay. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say before you go?
No, I think that's it. Thank you
Great.
so much.
Thank you. Moving on, our next order of business, we have a few appointments to consider. And first, we have to appoint an alternate to the BRPC Executive Committee, which I've been serving as from the Select Board, and would be happy to continue unless either of you feel different.
I'll interrupt you right away to say I'll make a motion to absolutely have you be our alternate delegate to the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission to serve yet another year.
And I will ecstatically.
I will reservedly accept and call for a vote if there's no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have an appointment to consider, or I guess, I don't know if, all right, so Deborah Cranwell, she kind of spearheaded the beginning of the Appalachian Trail Committee and making us an Appalachian Trail town, community, I think, which has been great, I think. And I've actually seen a number of social media posts from trail hikers in this past year specifically. And I think that engaging with the trail has really benefited, or the hikers especially, in getting them into town and just making Lee more noticeable to the hikers. I think this has all been great. So I'd like to thank her for that. She has moved out of Lee, and so is stepping down as the chair, but would like to continue as an alternate member. And we have some other committees where we have people from out of town as alternate members, so I don't see there being an issue necessarily with that. I just wonder, do we need to accept her resignation as chair before we appoint her, or just reappoint her as an alternate?
I would guess we don't have a letter resigning.
We don't have a letter of resignation, so.
I would say that with that case, Sean, maybe it would just be just as well just to appoint her as an alternate.
Sure. I'd be happy to entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we appoint Deborah Cranwell to the Appalachian Trail Committee as an associate member.
I will second that.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our next appointment, we have another per diem firefighter. This is Dennis McCarthy, and I have a letter here from the chief recommending Dennis for a per diem role as our firefighter. And just for everybody's knowledge, per diem is really just a day-based employee. They're not full-time, they're just kind of as needed to serve, potentially if needed. So I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Sure. Well, Mr. Chairman, based on the recommendation of our Fire Chief Ryan Brown, I would make a motion that we allow for the per diem employment as a Massachusetts EMT basic and firefighter, as long as his Cory check comes back just fine. I guess we're still waiting on that.
Understood.
That came back today, clear.
Great, clean. Okay, well, I don't have to worry about that part then. Great.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next order of business, we have a temporary sign permit. This is for Cafe Triskelly, and there's an image of their sandwich board sign that's 3 feet by 2 feet, 6 inches above the ground. We have a payment from them for the sign permit, and if there's no issue, I'd entertain a motion for approval. Do you have an issue?
No, let him make his motion first.
I'll make a motion that we approve the sign permit for traffic.
Just go. I'll second that, but with a comment.
Yep.
So before we make a vote, I did notice that on this, there's no distance from the public right-of-way listed. And I'm not concerned about line of sight for cars or anything, it's not that tall. But I am concerned that, and I would like to make it almost contingent that they not set this on the sidewalk,
Sure.
that it be on the grass, or somewhere where it's not interfering with the walking space of the sidewalk. Other than that, I don't care.
Would you want to amend your motion to reflect the not being in the sidewalk, Bob?
Yeah, well, I guess people, like on Main Street, they can put signs on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sidewalk's pretty wide here, but it's not as
Yeah,
wide
narrows
up there. It's just if you're in a wheelchair and you're going down there and there's a sign, you're not gonna be able to go around it well.
Yes.
And here on Main Street, though, it's gotta be 5 feet wide
Yeah,
anyway or
it's
more,
way
so
more.
that's why I'm not as concerned about Main Street.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't wanna do it, Bob, that's up to you.
Oh, no, I'm happy to
So,
amend the motion. I'll withdraw my previous motion, and I move that we approve the temporary sign permit application for Cafe Triskelly as presented, with the understanding that the sign will not be on the sidewalk, public way,
Yeah,
on the side.
I will second that, for
New
sure.
motion and a second, and if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have a couple of fee waivers. These are inspection fees that we typically waive for the St. Mary's Church and the school, the Leaf Public Schools. So I would entertain a motion for each in turn.
So you want to do them one at a time?
Sure.
Okay. Then I will start off with the request from St. Mary's Church, or St. Mary's School, to waive the fee for it says St. Mary's Church, so it's not the school, it's the church. So waive the fee for the periodic inspection for St. Mary's Church.
I'll second.
Motion and a second for the church. There's no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have the schools, so I would entertain a motion to waive the inspection fee for the Lee Public Schools.
Well, if it's okay with you, I will continue with this, and I'll make a motion to grant a fee waiver to the Lee Public Schools for both schools for their certificate of inspection costs. That's it.
And I will second
I
that.
have a motion and a second for the schools. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our next order of business, we have a new IT procurement policy to consider. And we have a letter here from Mitch, our chief information officer. Dear members of the Select Board, recent technology purchases and system changes made without coordination have introduced entirely avoidable security vulnerabilities increased downtime, and created unnecessary challenges for ongoing IT support. These disruptions burden town operations and place additional strain on administrative and technical staff. To address this, I have drafted the attached information technology procurement and systems policy, which ensures that all IT-related contracts, purchases, and cancellations are reviewed and coordinated through the IT department. This will help the town of Lee make smarter, more consistent IT decisions and avoid future issues. Town Administrator Chris Britton has reviewed the policy and supports its immediate adoption. I respectfully request the Select Board's approval so we can begin standardizing technology-related decisions. Thank you for your consideration. Mitch, our Chief Information Officers, and this policy kind of outlines the scope and what he's looking to do. Basically, a big part of it is any request should be submitted to our CIO, or Chief Information Officer, for approval so that he can ensure that the software or I don't know if devices are also a part
Yeah,
of that.
the hardware is,
Hardware are all in line and can be properly synced together and not create any issues, whether it be privacy or whatnot, just problems in general, so that he's in control of who's adding what software. And then there are some exemptions for things that are necessary that are required probably from the state or other that department heads will have to still inform him, but will have to procure on their own. And so with that, if you've both had a chance to review this and are okay with it, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Thank you for your explanation, somewhat of relief. I first read it and I thought it was the fires in Canada were impacting our ability to send smoke signals, but this is much easier. So I move that.
Yeah, we're more advanced than smoke
I
signals.
keep a blanket in my car just in case.
I move that we approve the request to adopt the policy for the IT equipment for the town of Lee.
I will second that.
Motion and a second, and if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, our next order of business is a Berkshire Gas permit. We have replacing, this is for the replacement of an elbow section of gas main. This is in front of 160 Paul Drive, working in the street and to the house. We have a plan attached. Looks like they're gonna have to excavate. So if there's any comments, or if anyone would like to make a motion for approval, I'll entertain that.
Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to make the motion to approve the replacement of the elbow section of a gas main in front of 160 Paul Drive. And it's been signed off by not just the police with a detail, but with the DPW. So I'd move that we approve this and allow the chair to sign.
Second
I
that.
have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our next order of business, we have two utility cut permits. The first of which I have for 80 Franklin Street, and this is to replace a sewer line. So it really would be to cut into it and replace it, repair it, I'm assuming. We have our allotted payment for our escrow requirement. That's right? Is that what it is
Escrow?
for? Escrow or?
Yeah, escrow, yeah, your escrow account.
The $1,000 for.
Yep.
It's really an insurance, which they would get back. So I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the permit sewer replacement for 80 Franklin Street.
And I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And our next utility cut permit is for 105 Franklin Street. This is to install a sewer line. And it's from the house to the street.
This is a non-proton.
Same, these are both, I think,
Yeah.
non-proton, so they've already happened, so I'd make a motion to approve.
Sure. I'd
Or
move,
I'd
yeah,
entertain.
I'd entertain a motion. Yeah, I would make the motion to approve non-proton, the work at 80 Franklin Street and 105 Franklin Street were done as an emergency type issue.
Second.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that brings us to any topic, and we did have actually one more gas permit that came in after we posted, so this is potentially, or this is for the installation of a new gas service from Tree Row to front of house at 250 Summer Street. And we have sign-offs from the DPW and the police, so I would, if there's no issue, entertain a motion to approve and allow the chair to sign.
So moved.
Second.
Second, motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor? Aye. I don't have, well, maybe I do have, do either of you have anything you'd like to make known or have any issue that couldn't have been reasonably anticipated?
And the only thing I would like to do is just let folks know that very long time member and very active Lee community person, John Philpott, is retiring from the Conservation Commission. He sent in a letter and retiring. So he's put in more than his share of time in our community, and I'd like to thank him very much for that. And at some point, we may or may not have to, I don't think we have to vote on that, but I just wanted to be acknowledged that he's done with that committee, but I don't think he's done serving the town and all its other aspects, because he's been very active in other social groups and whatnot, and I think we need to recognize that and thank him very much in a time when people are not always willing to volunteer. He's been more than willing to volunteer and be active in our community, so thank you, John.
And that reminds me that with that retirement of the Conservation Commission, we now have 2 full-time openings on the committee, if anybody's interested in serving. And there's also an alternate position with that committee as well, if anybody out there would like to get involved.
Just remind them, they don't need a degree in anything, they just need to be willing to learn.
And there's training available
Yes.
for you to become a more knowledgeable person about conservation issues. So we don't have our town administrator here today. He is away on a much needed vacation, so for the whole week. And is there something else I was going to mention? I guess I was going to say, just let you both know and everybody know, we had our first affordable housing meeting.
Nice.
That committee has begun. We meet monthly. That again also has, I believe that still has 2 full-time seats available if anybody out there is interested in getting involved in affordable housing. And it's a trust, really. It's a affordable housing trust, the committee that I'm a part of, to help the town foster and improve affordable housing throughout the town. So that's begun. We're going to meet monthly, and we also started. We had our first Parks and Rec committee meeting recently since our last regular meeting. So I'm just kind of letting everybody know. And that also has a position or two open. You know, these are both new committees, so we've got quorums established, so we're starting to meet, but people can join and be involved in if they would like to, along with the Conservation Commission meetings, and I think that's really all I had that I wanted to let everyone know about. And if there's nothing further, our next regular meeting will be August 19th, and I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Any, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're done.